Hello, it's good to be with you again. We're here with another edition of Nosco's Unpacked, exploring different aspects of packaging. I'm Craig Curran, president of Nosco, and today I have Chris Verzal with me. Chris is our director of solutions engineering. We're going to talk about folding cartons, and most specifically, we're going to talk about FBB board today, folding box board. So maybe before we get started, Chris, tell us about you a bit.
Thanks for having me, Craig. This is super fun for me to sit down and talk about one of my favorite products, folding cartons. So a little bit about me. So I've been with Nosco on April 15th, Tax Day. Will be my 12th anniversary. So I really look forward to celebrating the anniversary and excited about that. But, going back, I actually got the print bug back in high school and took a printing class. And shortly after high school, I got a job in a small print shop. And shortly after college, I kind of stepped away from print. And of course, as you know, print sucks you back.
Once it's in your blood, it's there forever, Chris.
Yeah. So when I joined Nosco, and I remember coming in through the interview, and I walked in the press room, and it felt like home, like the smells of the inks and the materials. So, so I'm excited to be here. Nosco's been a great journey and been a fun ride. And I look forward to many of the things you and I are working on together, along with many others.
So you are director of solutions engineering. Maybe what does that mean? What do you do here?
Sure. So our team is really responsible for our viewers, helping to support our sales team to manage through all the technical aspects of packaging. It's certainly Nosco's unique in that we have folding carton, label, leaflet, and flexibles. And to really expect our sales team to be experts in all those is a bit of a challenge. And that's true on my team as well, right? So we have engineers that really focus in maybe on flex pack or labels. But again, we're really there to help listen to the voice of the customer and help translate that into technical specifications, recommendations. So we're here to help.
Okay, you guys carry the burden and also the honor, I think, of being our point of differentiation, right? Because how we support our customers is through your efforts with our sales team. I think our package engineering staff and your CAD staff are unique to the industry, right? Especially the number of people we have supporting our customers. You not only do it up front before the project, you do it when the project gets launched, and then you actually go out in the field and support our customers on their packaging lines, helping them run product better, solve problems, and it's really, if you think about it, cradle to grave, right? From the beginning through the end of it. And you guys carry a big burden, but also it's, I think, an honor to do that. And all of the projects you've done over the years, they're immense. And most of them you can see on store shelves or at the pharmacy, right?
That's part's really gratifying to see your work finally on shelf. There's a certain level of pride and satisfaction that goes into that.
What's the most fun thing you do at Nosco in your job? What do you enjoy the most?
I'm a maker at heart. Even though in my role now, being more strategic and a director level, my team will still see me roll up my sleeves occasionally and get into it. But I think that has evolved over time, right? It's bringing up the next generation, which I know is near and dear to your heart. But again, I'm more of a one step removed for a lot of these things, but I'm still helping the team grow, still challenging them, still leading the effort. But I would say at the heart of it, I'm a maker, and I love to see things come to life, whether that's coming out of a meeting and a brainstorming session, or when we're in the lab and we're testing something that comes to life there, or if we go to press and we're successful and then we get on the line with a customer and we have a line validation. I was just telling Steve the other day, I said, when you walk away from a line validation and you've actually been successful, that is a huge high. That is so fun when you're actually, when you can pull that off. Yeah. So there's lots of nuggets of goodness there that continue to keep us doing good work here at Nosco.
Yeah, I like to watch you guys get your projects going, and watching customers' new products get launched and succeed, and it really is fun to see that happen, right?
It is.
Our brand promise is helping our customers save lives and make people healthier and happier. And, we have a small component of that through designing packaging that works and is helps them sell their product. Right? Yeah. So we've been working on this FBB board. I was out talking with a customer a couple weeks ago, and I didn't bother to really say what FBB meant. I just kept using the term FBB, and they looked at me and says, "Does that mean like folding blue board?" And I said, No, my bad. Why don't you tell the audience what FBB really means?
Sure. We have a lot of acronyms in our industry specific to packaging, and certainly we have our own language here at Nosco. So I'm not surprised that came up. Like, what the heck is FBB? Folding box board. Again, it's fairly new to the U.S., but it's the predominant material when you go outside the U.S. internationally, whether you're in Asia or Europe. And simply stated, the typical paperboard we use here at Nosco for a lot of our packaging projects is SBS, which is, if you look at the cross-section material, it's pretty homogeneous all the way through. FBB offers a different level of performance. So it takes some of the characteristics of SBS. So you have the top layer of that board that may have some hardwood fibers in it. The mid-ply has more of the softwood fibers that are strong, but maybe not as smooth. And then the backside, again, depending on the configuration, will have that hardwood layer in there. So it's a 3-ply board, and it offers some maybe a bit of a lower price point, right, as it relates to folding carton and raw material. But it offers a different level of performance. A little bit lighter weight board, may not work as well for heavier items and certain applications, but it certainly has a place in the market.
Mm-hmm. How does it really look compared to SBS? I mean, if we were sitting here and we're doing, a little comparison side by side.
Yep.
Could you tell the difference?
So I first was introduced to FBB, I would say about a decade ago. And at the time, my perception as well as customer perception was negative. It had more of a yellow appearance to it, had a little bit of a yellow cast to it, which some of our pharmaceutical customers found objectionable. They liked the purity and the bright white of the sheet. It's a material they've come to trust. And so the latest generation of FBB, I've been very impressed with. The color, the whiteness, the brightness is far better than the product that we used to know, but also has the many attributes that customers come to expect from packaging. Being able to print on it, have the smooth sheet, being able to foil it, hot foil, cold foil, emboss, die cut, fold and glue, all those things perform seamless for us and also on our customers' lines too.
Yeah. It used to almost have like a manila look on the backside,
Yeah.
I remember the old manila folders from when I was growing up and going to school, right? We'd all have our manila folders, and they had that yellowish tint to them. That's the way it used to look, but now it really just, it has a white sheet look, right?
Yeah, I actually brought a couple samples. This is an item that we use to help educate our customers. So you can, again, when we look at this particular item, it's as white as the sheet next to it, right? And it doesn't have that yellow tinge that we've probably remember from years past.
But it's a 3-ply board, like you were saying earlier, right? And so I see you got these Oreo cookies here. Why do we have Oreo cookies with us here today?
Well,
by the way, that's the number one selling cookie in the market. So it's my favorite too.
It's my favorite too. So we have that in common.
Yep.
But I think there was some similarities here. And again, I know you're a trivia guy. You like trivia. And so just like FBB, right? The Oreo cookie, which may be different than what's another cookie out there that is different or different from Oreo?
Chips Ahoy.
Chips Ahoy, right? So Chips Ahoy is kind of like SBS. It's got the same dough and chips throughout, but there's no layers to it, right? So just like the Oreo cookie, FBB is like the Oreo cookie. You've got your base layer, you got your mid-ply and your top layer. And again, that was a good metaphor. But that's not the reason why I brought this today, Craig.
Oh, okay.
I love Oreo. Yeah.
I thought
we'll have some cookies. We'll have some cookies. But no, the folding carton has a long history, right? It was invented in the late 1800s. And there's some ironic similarities between Nabisco and Nosco, right? So Nabisco, National Biscuit Company, first put their cracker product in a folding carton in 1906. In 1906 resonates with you, right?
That's the year Nosco was founded.
Right. So again, I thought that was a fun piece of trivia for us. Oreo cookie was invented 6 years later and came along. It was actually a response to a competitor in the market. So they didn't originate the concept, but they've done a great job.
I like the analogy.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Thank you.
So you mentioned earlier too, like there's a little difference in the type of pulp that's used.
Yep.
So can
Yep.
you explain that a little bit
Sure.
more for those people who like
Sure.
the deep technical stuff?
Well, I'm not a paper maker, so I hope I get this right for the folks out there. But generally, depending on which mill or which brand of SBS, right, they'll tell you in general that they like to have the hardwood fibers near the surface of the sheet.
Yep.
For smoothness. Again, that offers that beautiful platform, if you will, to build on for print, whether we're printing digitally or conventional and applying coatings on there. Customers expect that smooth surface for us to get great color and good smoothness of print. However, they also can mix in some softwoods to add some toughness to the board, right? So that's something that our SBS suppliers will play with too, as far as their individual proprietary blends, right? But the FBB folks are very clear on what they're doing. They're saying my top ply and my bottom ply have hardwood, and then the mid ply is comprised of a softwood layer.
Yeah.
So they're kind of balancing the best of both worlds, but in a very, very controlled manner.
Mm-hmm. Does it change the performance characteristics, you think, when it runs on packaging lines? So if our customers started to use this,
Yep.
how would they feel about its runnability?
We feel that they shouldn't have any reservations about it. I think some customers may express their expectations that I don't want to make any machine or adjustment settings. And we always kind of caution them when they use that language, because I think it's a little bit outside of what's possible. But we always strive to do that whenever we can. We always want to make sure that it's easy for our customers to run or substitute a new material and minimize the downtime and changeover, right? But for us, Craig, it prints beautifully. It die cuts beautifully. We do have to use a little bit of a different formula as it relates to die cutting the material, right? So the scores and some other things there, we have to tweak.
Because of the softer middle.
The fibers in the middle are tough, and we end up having to use a little more pressure, die pressure tonnage, to be able to get through and get some good scores. But otherwise, as it goes through our folding gluing, and then again running on filling lines, etc., customers should see great performance from this product.
So, what's the cost savings? I know you mentioned earlier
Yep.
that there was a cost savings, and many of our customers today are looking for ways to, be more economical, especially with some of the inflation
Yep.
that has occurred in the marketplace over the last 3 to 5 years. What's the savings on looking at FBB?
So generally, it depends on the sheet yield, right? So if you have a conventional sheet, let's say it's 28 by 40, and your unit carton is rather small, I would say, or compared to maybe a large layout, we're only getting 4 up. In a 4 up scenario, you get a lot more sheet waste. So your cost savings are going to vary a bit depending on the carton. But I would say generally anywhere from 10 to 15% is a good rule of thumb.
That's new too, right? Because I know when FBB was in the market before, it was a little tighter price to SBS, and now there's a bit more of a disparity, I think, that makes it worthwhile for, a customer who has some decent, carton volume to actually look at it, and if they get it in their spec, they're going to save some significant money.
Yeah, but it's not for everybody. I mean, we recognize that, and we certainly appreciate many of the standard SBS products we run today. That isn't going anywhere, and that's an important part of our business, and our customers love that material and trust that material. But for certain applications, for new applications that are maybe outside of those applications,
It's an option, right?
Yeah.
It's really just an option.
Yep.
SBS isn't going away. This
Nope.
isn't going to replace SBS, but it's gives people an option to look at and maybe save some money on some of their various different products. So
well said.
do we have a spec sheet for this that customers can get?
We do. We provide not only the basis weight, various calipers, also if they're interested in smoothness of the sheet, as well as cross drain, machine direction, stiffness specifications. We're happy to provide all of that. All of that.
And we can give them samples too, right?
Yeah.
I mean, cut them samples and have them take a look at it and and even make some small production runs for testing on their line too, right?
Yeah, we as you know, will oftentimes, for our viewers out there, produce carton samples in the early phases of a project. That I think tells the story right there as far as when they get it and touch it and feel it. It should seem very familiar to them when they get it.
Any more samples you want to show?
I have just a couple more here, right? And we talked about the FBB as far as printability and some of the beautiful graphics that our marketing team put together here. Adria did a wonderful job with those.
We got some, is this hot stamping or cold foil here?
We have cold foil on that one, right?
Run at our Bridgeview plant, I would guess, huh?
Yep.
Very nice.
And again, I brought along more of the actual blank of this material too. So the back side is an important aspect to this, right? As far as looking at the whiteness of the back side.
Yeah.
We're very pleased with it.
Yeah. So what do you see in the future? If we look forward 3 years, how do you see FBB in the marketplace?
I think FBB going forward is going to play a part in our growth and our here in the U.S. You pointed out some key economic factors in the market. I think some of the other parts too, as far as what we're serving and the customers we're serving, is continuing to evolve. And for those that are maybe outside of the normal pharma market, those would be ones that this product comes to mind that would help serve their needs in a different way.
We have another board that we're using a lot more of now called Reimagine too,
Yep.
right? That's
Yep.
a 30% PCR board. Maybe we should get back together sometime and talk about Reimagine.
All right.
Because I think it's important for our customers to understand all the options, right?
Correct.
And it used to be just SBS was an option, and now we have FBB, Reimagine, etc. So, there's becoming more items on the menu. So the menu's expanding.
It is.
I think it's important maybe we get back together and have a talk about that.
I would look forward to that, Craig. Reimagine is a product that's near and dear to my heart too, and it's certainly unique in that you get the sustainability benefits, but also the beauty of the packaging of the board is still very much front and center.
So to our audience, thanks for joining us. I hope you find this valuable. Chris, thanks for chatting with me today.
Thank you.
We look forward to continuing to support you with FBB. We hope you're enjoying these unpacked episodes and that you're learning and growing in your packaging knowledge. Take care.